70% of people who have been taken into custody have not been convicted of anything. Net approval minus 16 points. Oof. Including Latinos, who, by the way, his approval has completely plummeted with.
I have one more Fox News The 5 panel for us, again, mostly about the protests from a different angle, but also touching on the tax increase bill for the working class and the handouts to the rich and other things. So leave us a like if you can, and let's just hop right into the discussion.
How do you think your party's handling this, Jessica?
80% great, I think. I think it's important that everyone, maybe not AOC, but Gavin Newsom, Mayor Bass, who's in charge, is leading with, you can't be violent, and we're going to prosecute you if you are. That was the lesson of 2020, and it's an important one. And I hope by tomorrow there'll be a clip of Harry Enton saying what he tweeted before we came on here. This is definitely one of Trump's worst polls. Just horrible across the board. Net approval minus 16 points. Oof.
It's something that all Americans are fed up with. Trump tried to do it one too many times with his Gestapo-esque immigration force, and it backfired on him. It escalated into tensions on the street, which, by the way, anyone with a brain could have predicted. I was here every single day before the election, literally screaming how if ICE walks the streets to look for brown people, it's going to cause mass chaos. And now that it's happening, MAGA and Trump want to go, ooh, it's the Democrats. Like, we all knew what was going to happen, and Trump did it anyway. It's on Trump, dumbass. And it's like the meme of the kid on the bike putting the stick in his tire and making the bike fall and then like blaming someone else. If I find it, I'll show it on the screen. But it's like, that's when you know they have no defense left. Trump's dumb plan caused the exact outcome the left predicted and said would happen. So they're left with, but Democrats, right? And of course the base will eat it up, but nobody else will. And every Democrat condemns this, and the violence thus far is minute at best.
This narrative that everything is going so well for Donald Trump is not backed up by the reality on the ground. The footage, it looks bad. I'd be scared to be in the middle of it 100%. But it doesn't mean that the American people, including Latinos, who, by the way, his approval has completely plummeted with, aren't seeing how mismanaged this immigration system is, the way that Trump and co are doing it. 63% say that illegals should get a court hearing before being deported. Cue Kilmar Garcia. 57% say that he's not being careful in carrying out deportations. 52% that he's going too far. And 58% oppose deporting people with no criminal records.
I mean, the administration has failed on all fronts, right? It's running out of steam, and that's why it's the greatest hits running of blame the left. Trump hasn't ended the wars, complete failure. Doge, complete failure. The economy experienced negative growth and an increase in unemployment, complete failure. Prices haven't gone down, complete failure. The tariffs crashed consumer confidence, complete failure. People are upset about the healthcare costs, and he's coming off as a literal cartoon villain twirling his mustache on immigration at this point, whisking up pregnant U.S. citizens, breaking up families at Home Depot, deporting U.S. citizen children with brain cancer. I mean, you couldn't write a bigger catastrophe if it was a liberal writing a hit piece of propaganda about Trump, and the cherry on top is that it's all juxtaposed to the very administration that Trump and MAGA themselves said was ruining our country, and Trump following it up, being right after Biden, and he's now doing far worse by every single metric. So by their own judgments, they would have to admit that Trump sucks, but they won't. And they'll find some logic to justify their hypocrisy, but we all know.
Brian said, well, this is what they were sent there to do. Get the people out with criminal records. 70% of people who have been taken into custody have not been convicted of anything. That is directly flying in opposition of what they said that they were going to do.
113 How are you? With criminal records, 113 over the last 2 days.
But thousands have been deported. People are in foreign
just
gulags without
days
criminal
in Los
records.
Angeles.
All right, well, Jessica,
Brian,
when you break into the country, you're going to get kicked out.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
not.
Yeah, you are. That's the rule.
The American public don't want it.
Okay, well, the
Who's
American
do your
public...
manicure, Jesse?
Right, and I mean, it just turns out that a majority of the country aren't vehemently racist for no reason or bought into the propaganda Trump is trying to sell, and it's for good reason. Mass deportation just makes no sense. It gives no incentive for the people to come forward, which leads to needs for shows of force, ICE walking the streets, things just like this, which leads to mass unrest. just like we're seeing play out, just like we all said it would. It also costs a ton of money, on average $17,000 per deportation flight. This calculates to between 200 and 600 billion, depending on the exact number of migrants in our country. It's something that most calculations say would take 10 to 20 years alone to do, and it also hurts us economically in the long run, pulling them from our tax base. Migrants pay around 100 billion a year in taxes and add over 300 billion to the GDP. This is undocumented immigrants. Legal immigrants do way more. By every metric, it's just a very dumb and inefficient plan. The goal should be mass amnesty for any migrant who hasn't committed a violent crime, understanding that this is a flaw in our system, not any wrongdoing on their end, and then reworking our immigration system, our asylum system, our visa system, so these flaws don't happen going forward. But no, MAGA don't wanna punish brown man for doing illegal thing, but white man who do 34 illegal things and sexual illegal thing be president. Like, it makes literally no sense if you're outside of the cult, that is.